Okay, so today's project is I'm going to take these three filters covers, I'm going to open those up. Of course, I'm going to shut the water off first, and then I'm going to pull the filters out. I'll show you those in a second, and replace them. But what we got going on here is we've got our well that comes in down here, our well pipe, okay? And in order to, we had the well put in about 2 years ago. So before we did that, a step that I took was we've got the hot water heater tucked in back here. So the old hot water heater that we had, it worked fine yet. But I thought, well, I'm not going to run the piping up in that for the well and then have to try to get a hot water heater in around, where the piping comes in down, in maybe a year or two when the hot water heater goes south. So what I did is I landed up, and I'll tell you this right now, worst company I ever dealt with is Richmond Water Heaters. This is an A.O. Smith. This is an upgrade. The old one that was in, I pulled it out so I didn't have to deal with trying to get it out after I got all this stuff in. I said, we're just going to replace it, and we're going to start with a brand new one. So it goes 10, 12 years without us having to deal with anything. So went to Menards, got a Richmond, installed it, and it leaked in 3 places. The service department, I'd call them, I'd be on hold for 2 hours dealing with them. Worst experience as far as dealing with a company I've ever had. And I guess they're noted for having some issues. It leaked in 3 spots. They never pressure test them before they send them out. And they said that Menards is really good about taking their stuff back. So I'm going to guess it happens on a more frequent basis than it should. Anyways, that's the experience I had with them. They were horrible dealing with customer service and the hoops they made you jump through. And I did what I think they hoped for. I finally just gave up on it. And I landed up at, it had cost me a huge chunk of money because I couldn't deal with them anymore. And that's a whole story within itself. Let's get back to this. Water comes up, okay, through the pipe. Here's my thing to turn those covers off, and here's my shut-off valve. So, water is shut off to from going any farther than that. The other thing I will do is through this menagerie here of pipes, what I've got set up is the line runs over to here, comes in, the water comes through here. Now, if I shut this valve off, then it forces it to just go straight out to the outside water faucets. So then I'm not running, when I water the lawn, I'm not running the water through my filtration system or any other part of the water system in the house. So that keeps these things just for the inside water, keeping that clean. Yeah, our plumber and that kind of came, and I called. We've got great people in town. We got great electricians. Call, they're there. And I've got, we've got great plumbers in town too that really take care of people. So anyways, I got a commercial grade A.O. Smith. We had to pull the other one out. This is in December. It was a great time. Trying to run the water out into the yard and below freezing and all that good stuff. Pulled the Richmond out, and then it took us, I don't know how long, to figure out how to try to wedge this in amongst the pipes. Once again, remember, this is a cabin. We're a tiny house living. So that's, you put the stuff where you kind of can to get it out of sight. And so anyways, back to this. Here is the system that we're using. It is by iSpring, and these are the 3 filters then that I'm going to change out. And we do this about every 3 to 4 months. So I'll just shut the water off. I'll shut this valve off too. I might need 2 hands to do that. I'll open up the faucets to drain the water out of the lines as much as I can. And then of course I got my bucket to drain the water from the lines and what's on the top of the system here into the bucket. And it does. They do a very good job. Our water has been tested. It comes out, it comes out really good. It's very safe to drink, but we do get a little bit of a sulfur smell in our water. And then so actually I think it's, they've got a sediment filter, a carbon filter, and then they've got to take that smell out, an iron magnesium filter. So it works well. You just have to change filters out about every 3-4 months. So with that said, I'm going to go, now that I got that water turned off, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to open up the faucets, drain the lines out as much as I can. I'm going to take these out one at a time, and this just, you get this with the system. Here's the exact system if you want to work. You can work off that QR code, but this comes up around the bottom, and then you just lefty loosey, righty tighty. So you turn them off, drop it down, pull the filter out, and I always take some paper and clean the inside of the filter covers off too. But take the filter out, put the new one on, tighten it up. There's a gasket on there. You got to get them relatively tight. And all the while you do this, of course, what do? You pray that you don't have something else break or start to leak along the line. But this has been a good system. So with that said, I'm going to guess it's going to take me about a half hour to get it done. On the next video, probably tomorrow's video or one later on today, if I get a chance to work on electrical, I will just update you on how it all went. Hit that like, subscribe button, and I wanted to share this with you because it's kind of unique and it's a good option. And just one more thing I needed to address is some of you are going to ask, well, why didn't I just put a water, or whatever I'm having a brain fart right now, but just stand where you put the salt in and a water conditioner, and there we go. And that's what happens when you get to be older than dirt. But why don't you just put a water conditioner in? We had a local company look at doing that, but we can't run a water, it's almost impossible to run a discharge water line on this because we don't have a crawl space, and we don't have a basement. So getting rid of the water out of the water conditioner was very limited on the possibilities. So this is, if you're in that position, this is a great alternative. And even if you could get a water conditioner in, this isn't a bad alternative if you've just got a little bit of sulfur and what we call tannins in your water. with that said, I will catch you later. Take care. Hit that like and subscribe button.